I sit here and mess around with all these settings here and try to get things to work since I haven't done streaming in like forever, and it shows. Cool. I've already got one of them working. Alright. Let me do all the usual setup thingies and go live on all the other stuff because I haven't done that in forever, and yeah. Start all. Man, what a catastrophe back this in here. We'll see how long I stream it. I'm just getting my way back up to shows not. Where's the audio coming from? There we go. What a catastrophe. C1, fix everything under the sun. C1, fix everything under the sun. Kick unmuted itself. Kick is out to get me. Do you see the kind of things I have to deal with? Oh my god. It's fine. I'll live. And if I don't, well, I guess I lived a good life. Sure. That's song. Configuration not ready. The hell? Gotta get social stream working again. Jesus Christ, there's so much garbage on here. How do I delete this one? That's how. Some of these old YouTube sources until it finds the right one. So many of them. Nobody's getting any chats doing right? Sure. Everything behind the scenes is a catastrophe of like 2 months of not streaming. Software's like, you gotta do some login stuff too because the authentications are no longer valid because it's been too long. Like, okay, so that should be everything for there. Get a social stream here, and now I get my wish list up there. I need to make a better Steam page for the game. I do not wish to hear my own thingy again. I have definitely seen my trailer over 100 times at this point, and while I think it's great, you know, well, it's decent good. I've seen it a lot. see if this shows in all the chats. Are you gonna make me log into the back of this again? Probably. What am I hearing? I hate it, whatever it is. I hate everything about it. It's like some endless BS thing. Yeah, whatever. Random, maybe. Something different. I don't care. Good. Alright. I didn't type wish Poppet Quest, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now that's done. Did all those show up in the thing? They most certainly did. Yes! Setup will not take as long as expected. That music seems like it's probably really loud. I'm gonna look at the stuff there. I had nothing set up for anything at this point. It's just a catastrophe in the back end, so. Just accept it. And embrace it. And understand it. Just do it. It's your best bet. Just give in. If you just give in, the pain will stop. I don't know why the pain will stop. I don't know what pain you're in. But if you just give in, it'll be good. It's actually one of the insane quotes that Poppet does. Wait, what? Maybe is unavailable. What? YouTube, why is this thing not working? Or why is the link not working? Questions. Not working. That explains why it didn't work in the Discord. Why have you become unmuted again, Kick? Kick keeps getting unmuted. It's so annoying. Don't be like that, Kick. Don't be like that. One job, Kick. One. I don't know what that job is, but one job, Kick. This one work? Disaster averted. Alright. Now. Stop unmuting, Kick. You're so annoying. Why is it becoming unmuted? I'm not even in that tab. I see what it sounds like. I've done like 4 times now. I know Kick's backend is legendarily bad, but hey Lepus, how's it going? Keeping that streak alive with the making it like 11 stream or something. So remember last time we said like 10 stream and then I went like a 2-month break. Hopefully I feel good today. So far I've felt only mediocre a few times today, so got this. Got that. And you can see so many changes. Oh my god. Oh, thanks. Good to be back. Good to see you showing up to hang out and chat. Always exciting. And I miss chatting with people. Oh my gosh, like, I love doing game dev, I do, but it just hits different when you actually get to talk to people. As opposed to just being all by your lonesome. I mean, you know, it's fine to be all by your lonesome, but it kind of sucks. To check it out, I got all kinds of new stuff. I'm gonna load up the stuff we're jumping through.
Well, when I last left off last night, I was making it where you rescue NPCs and they go into little houses here in the haunted gallery, which is a new room to replace the painting world, because the painting world just didn't make sense. Like it put so much emphasis on Tinka. I hear myself in the background, and that seemed unnecessary. Okay, Kick, stop it. Why do you keep unmuting yourself? It's so annoying. I'm not trying to have that tab open. So I decided I would make it a little more sensible, because originally, like having the RPG Maker thing, you just went to a different section, and they were just portals, and then all the toys would get rescued. So I put some buildings in here to represent where the toys would go for the NPCs and everything. But now everything connects to Haunted Gallery, which is currently on floor 1. So you actually jump to floor 1 very quickly in the game, but you can't leave the Haunted Gallery, so it's kind of a thing with all kinds of locations. I decided I would have little things where Annie's on would have a little note laughing at you because she got it first, the item first, and you'd have to go to her. Hey, Sarah Napoli, how's it going? Oh, just in time, we'll be just in time. I was going over new stuff because I had to take a couple-month break for health reasons, and yeah. I have a dev menu now, which goes to certain points in the game, including my dev mode. Dev mode. It'll take a second to load dev mode the first time, of course. Dev mode, dev mode, dev mode, because the dev is a cheater. The dev is a cheater. The dev has a second outfit because the dev is a cheater. Woohoo! I'm gonna have alternate outfits from, like, you can, every time one of the female characters has an outfit, you can steal their outfit, because why the hell not? So I have an outfit stolen from another character. So I'm gonna have more outfits to steal. Why is Kick unmuting itself? I'm just gonna go ahead and close the Kick backend, because F that, it's annoying. Or go to achievements backend. Something that's not making noise. It keeps unmuting it. It's weird. Yep. I was gonna do a character customization thing, but I haven't really done anything with it yet. So, not all that important there. But yeah, I'm gonna put the various things here. I shrunk the building down. Because if you remember in the old RPG Maker, when they had like a little hallway full of things with all these paintings, and then people were just in them. I switched these to these things here. Annie's not ready to even spawn here at the moment. But I figured this is actually the correct size for it, 'cause it's about her size. Some of the NPCs ought to be shrunk down. I'm gonna make it where they don't move. Where you talk to them and pick them up and throw them through the paintings to show up here or something. Or maybe you just talk to them and they show up here. It depends. Because, to be completely honest, I don't know why they're moving around. The NPCs don't need to go anywhere. So you started using Unreal Engine 5.7 and confused about the content browser. What's confusing about it? I mean, I'm not using 5.7 because it's got a broken 3D text plugin, but I didn't notice any difference in the content browser. Yeah, the Posian. It's been better. I was definitely doing pretty bad for a while there, and now I'm back to only feeling like crap at various points in the day. It's just like waves that just hit me, and I pretty much come down to it being an issue with the upper vertebrae of my neck. And as the neck gets bent around, it causes all these problems. And it's like craniocervical instability or something is what I believe it is, because I match all the symptoms, and trust me, it's quite a laundry list. So, yeah. Errors, sure. So I made lots of new things. Ooh. One of the boss fights is gonna be a Miss Pop-Man game where you play Miss Pac-Man. I will show you. Well, I haven't built the whole fight yet, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, early on I was having the health problems like for hours on end, and my blood pressure would spike, and I was just like, I feel like I'm gonna fall over like that. And now today I think it's been only like 3 times I felt like I was gonna fall over, and they were only like brief moments, and I don't know. I like talking to people. But yep, see, it's a giant Miss Pac-Man game. Ooh. Wait, why aren't you loaded? Okay, it's just being slow for some reason? Sure. You say like playing? Maybe, I don't know, it'd be weird. Whee! And see, they light up. Do 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 do. You win by lighting up an area. And there's going to be like invincible ghost monsters. I even have portals to jump through to the other side. It's not a bad idea, I guess, because sitting is really bad on like the neck and the back, right? And like the extra weight like that, they were saying that, you know, if your head's like this, it's something like 14 pounds of weight, but if your head's like this, it's 42 pounds of weight on your neck. Which I knew I had a big head. I didn't think it was 42 pounds of big head, but I think it's actually the way the force is like, because it's actually the amount of mass that, you know, gravity can push down on. But it's not a bad idea. But yep, this will be a thing. So I made all kinds of areas, including a way down to the basement. We'll look at the basement in a second. The staff sections, which have not been made. Well, I guess I made a quick washroom, but that's nothing. These haven't been made yet. No one cares. Out here, though, I have what's going to be a security office and a souvenir place right at the opening of the building. And my super secret fortune teller room. Yeah, I might try. I don't have a bed in here. This is my office. I can't really move a bed in here, so I don't think my room is set up for this. So it would be hard for me to do laying down. So I'm gonna reduce the number of these things down to only 21 because it's just not enough space for all of it. But I made these secret doors that if you have the right things, they open. Ooh. If you get far enough away, it should close. I'm not sure I can get far enough. Oh, okay, I can. So these are my obvious secret doors throughout the building. They don't currently tell you how to open them though, so it'll be interesting to see. My portal room. The portals. Concept area. I don't know. Oh, I can't even open it because there's no keys. Oh, damn. Ruin that for me. Oh, well. Ruined. Just ruined. I did things over the last couple months. I just, you know, didn't work anywhere near as hard. I was getting maybe like, especially early on, I was working maybe an hour at most in the game after the first few weeks. Only in the last few days I do a bunch more. I'm listening to the other music because that music's just not that good. So this was a great compromise. Everybody and their grandmother wants to run around in the city and go play around outside the building. But as I've shown people on stream how boring that is, so I decided I would take the entire city and I would shrink it down into a room. And now you get to run around the city block, but it's a tiny one, so you get to have fun with it instead. Ooh. And I made little quick exploding cars. Just for fun. Oh yeah, there's so much new stuff. Did I miss a message on YouTube? I think I did. Nope, I missed it. I can't find it. Oh yeah. So I was gonna have a toy city, and now I realize if I sit there and work on the area out there, it actually works in this too because it's just a level instance of outside. So I redid it a bunch to have some extra areas that weren't originally out there, just so you can run around. I made it fit this room. I made a quick car enemy because I thought it was funny. New map system. Instead of having all those dumb things everywhere, it now calculates where you're at and then paints everything with little black things on it instead. And the upper floors actually have pictures. I haven't made a picture of the first floor yet. But it was to improve performance. It got rid of like over 600 actors on the map essentially. Ouch. A lot of this didn't take all that long. I'm building a giant board out here. I think I'm gonna have things fight on here. I moved the queen to here, decided she didn't need her crappy little tower. I'm going to put a restaurant in here. I actually just copy pasted the other one from the Broken Compass. It's going to be a different one, but you know, whatever. I went through and redesigned a lot. I gave this a washroom here. Made this toy alley. I'm going to put little toy things here. Train station over here, which is just currently a regular thing like that. And I'm just going to add a train around it, a little small one. I was going to make a big train, but just not enough space. Little tiny train's fun enough. More secret doors. I had to fix these. These stick out through that thing. Catching everyone up. I started putting rooms that were completely secret rooms in here, but they're obvious secrets. Which has forced me to go through and change a lot of extra things. Well, forced is such a strong term. I just wanted to. See all I got laid out. Where's Ford? Oh. Of course Ford didn't show up. Because these are like, I'm still hard at work on these things here. Basically, I laid out the entire game. I didn't make concepts for everything. I just laid out the game. Having, you know, a new version of the Toymakers thing, which is different. I actually don't have a boss to be here, though. This is weird. Like, this is not a room that I intended the boss to be. Even a secret way out from under the building? Hell yeah. It doesn't actually lead anywhere because, you know, you can't leave the building. You'll die. Well, you won't need power. This is my abandoned area. Secret abandoned areas. I actually just expanded upon this with this hallway. Super secret abandoned stuff. This is going to get moved somewhere else. This whole thing was not... I keep moving where I think that the deciding factor in the game is, because the game will have two endings, and there's a deciding factor point where it's going to be. Oh yeah, I decided this is my new technology here. Hear me out. Rather than make weird conveyor belts that show how to make all the toys, which would take a huge amount of resources to make all these things that I clearly don't have, I just have these weird boxes with stuff inside and out pops toys. Don't question what happens in the mysterious toy making box. Oh, it's also version, you know, 1.408 in case you get the reference. With the little machine that goes on the top. I did a lot of organizing and cutting the game down and, you know, doing things that didn't require me to actually do much real work. Draw walls, put doors. This wasn't gonna be a product sourcing. Add these cool thingies. This was just straight out of a pack. I was just like, I'm just gonna put it in a thingy. I thought about using it for some kind of thing where you could power them or something, but I don't really have much purpose for that. That's not even attached to the box. This is still not even finished. Lots and lots of ideas. Making some sort of boss room in here. You know, it's not there yet. It's not even close to there yet. I mostly just stole things out of the painting world and put them here. Yeah. See, all this stuff is laid out now. Some of these rooms have just no idea on the third chapter especially, but... Other big changes. As I catch everyone up on the weird crap I did. Oh, thanks. Glad to see you too. Glad to be back. Glad to have people to talk to, because I can tell you right now, game dev just strikes real different when you're all alone. It's just not the same. Like, you know. I still love it. I do. But I love it more when, you know, people are around. Also not hurting as much today. That helps a lot. I mean, I was hurting earlier. Say it just comes in waves. There's no predictability whatsoever, but I really think that's just the sitting too long in front of the thing is just too much for me. Can't do it as long as I once did. I don't think I'd be doing 8-hour streams again anytime soon. Put it that way. I think we can all agree that if it's causing health problems, I should probably not do that. Waiting for all this to load. Chapter 2 is largely laid out. I have all the rooms laid out and all the notes set up for that. I was fixing a lot of bugs and everything too. The package version was getting 70 FPS in most places. But it ran into critical bugs. It just ruined everything. This room got some changes. The biggest change is what I'm working on down here. These buttons aren't supposed to be here. They're just here to test. Lots and lots of things going on. Oh yeah, I'm adding in other outfits. Woohoo! Push the button. So now you go down to this full room down here instead, and the keys are going to be down there. With even little side areas too that open up like that. And you'll wander around and get keys going through the caves and things. These first keys out here. Hey, Actoduck. Hello to you as well. I've been oh my god. Hell yes. He goes down to a third one here too. I'm gonna jump in the pool. This was a really bad idea. It doesn't really matter. I have immunity to that on because I have everything enabled because I'm a terrible cheater. Okay, get out. Oh god. This is actually not very deep, by the way. Actually, I'm apparently levitating somehow. That's not right. How am I levitating? I have questions. I have so many. I'll start streaming more again. I can, as long as my health permits it. It's just, they won't be as long as streams, and it'll probably be more erratic for a while. I miss streaming, but at the same time, my health was just like, nah, man, don't do that. I'm like, okay. Dev can't play his own game. Yeah, going through this area now gets to a new area. Well, I plan to have a boss. We'll see how that boss's mechanics play out. I haven't figured it out yet. But it changed the layout of everything, like the way everything goes by a fair amount. Because it used to be you go to like the crow's nest after coming down here and supposedly fighting a boss out there in that water area, but then I realized that with a character who has a problem with water, it's pretty hard to make a boss for her to fight that's in the water. Like, what is she supposed to do? Okay, I can still fall in the water. I don't know what's up with that other water out there. Yeah, now the broken compass is over there. These rooms didn't change. So that's new. I don't think I did anything else to chapter 2. I think that was all I did. Because I've kind of been bouncing around. Whenever I had inspiration for anything, I reworked this area, put these pipes back in here so you can get up in this area. This sticks through, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. So I put little areas up here. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Something. Yeah, I just put the key over here. It used to be way over here on top of this thing, but I had to move this door up because the things didn't match, so it ruined my jumping puzzle, by the way. It just ruined it. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't believe chapter 1 got any changes. No, actually it is getting some changes, but I haven't finished them yet, so everyone can see me work on them. I'm going to pull Temperance out of the playtest, like before Patrick. Not because I think Temperance isn't ready for playtesting so much as I think Patrick's not ready for Temperance. It's really that simple. Patrick's just not ready for Temperance. He wasn't built to fight that weapon. It shows every time we fight against him. He has issues with the weapon, and then I nerfed the weapon, and then it wasn't any good. And I was like, okay, well, this weapon's terrible now, and yeah. So now there's just a card up here instead of Temperance, which sucks, but it is what it is. Now I need a purpose for this room because for a while I had it where you had to unlock the Safari room painting up by here by going in and killing off some things. And then you had to go back to the painting world in order to go through a painting to get to the safari painting. I just made it permanently unlocked instead because it was confusing and weird. Like explaining it to the player they need to do that was so bizarre that it just kind of, I don't know, it just felt weird. But now Tinka tells you, yeah, do these and do things, and then she gives you the ability to do things. So you can't even go to the painting world until then, well, to the haunted hallway until you've actually freed the first painting. Then she gives you her permission, and then you can. And that's still already in the game, and it plays better because of it. But one of the changes I want to do involves that music puzzle I've always talked about. So I'm going to have a music puzzle thing that opens this door here. So you do a music puzzle in here, and it opens up the door here. And behind it's a button, and then the button opens up the capsule to this thing. So I'm going to taunt the player with this being here. He's just watching. So I need that as a thing. Yeah. I believe that's like just about every change of consequence. I mean, there's bugs fixed and things, but for the most part, a lot of it was making chapter 3 and 4 have locations and things, concepts figured out. I intentionally did not show any of the final rooms. That's right, my own vibe. I mean, yeah, like for the longest time, I was trying to figure out what I would do with the final boss fight because I know the mechanic I want for the final boss fight. I won't tell you what the mechanic is because it's like big time spoiler and that's no fun. But I was trying to figure out all these ways to set it up, and by finally laying everything out, I have a good idea of how it'll play and where certain things need to be and how quick stuff needs to happen. I also ended up cutting some bosses. Oh, that's a big change I made. I actually just chopped out a floor, just outright. I realized I didn't have any rooms to go in these places. Like the whole story would be told, and it was already taking so long to get through these that there was no point. Like this floor here, like there's actually, I removed the first floor essentially because the first floor didn't need to be taller at all. One could argue this area doesn't need to be this tall either. Some of these things it does, but they didn't need it for the third one there, so I couldn't find anything like that. And these ones are down here in like the fourth area, they're way taller than normal. As you can see where the door placement is versus the door placement up here, you can see how much taller it is, making it almost like a floor and a half in its own right. So that's probably good enough, and I can always push this down if I need the fourth area to have more space. And that's kind of what I do with it. It just seemed like, I don't know, I couldn't find a use for it. So it got dumped, and if I decide to add more later, I always can. Because like I say, you're just traveling down to the building, and adding floors below is very easy. You just tack on a floor below. There could be a sub-basement. There was originally going to be a sub-basement, but just after how long I see how it takes to just do the stuff that's in here, and knowing the right way to go, the game's, I don't want the game to be like, you know, a 30-hour game. Okay, like I'd rather the game be 20 hours and have better content than 30 hours and just blase. At least that's been the working theory behind it. And so now I'm going through and adding in tutorials and things and improving stuff. Oh, I guess I moved these around too. Now the Hierophant is over here instead of there, and the button's hidden over here. And there's cubes in order to get places here that appear in various points. So it's got a little puzzle instead of just jumping up in or hitting the thing, which is boring. This room still needs something to do in it. There's a puzzle over here, grabbing the cubes and using them to get up to this key. Or you can take the Hierophant way up too. And the Hierophant way up to this. But this room has always had terrible FPS. So I need to figure something out about that. Like this room just, even in the playtest, when everything else was getting like 60, 70, sometimes even as much as 90 FPS, like out here, on when standing in these ledges, it was like 90 FPS during the playthrough. This room was getting 40, 45. It's just, I mean, that's just a huge drop off. And it's these floating things, right? It's the little Hierophant puzzle things. There's so many of them. I don't have a good answer. I guess I need to program them in a better way, but they're just heavy. You load everything, buddy? Pal? Friend? This really takes a little moment to load, too. Normally you wouldn't see this because, you know, it would load from outside this room, but... yeah, these thingies, there's so many of them just bouncing around, and they don't have really complicated things, but they're still a physics object that's kind of moving around. Thus screwing with the performance. Yeah. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about them, because the mechanic requires it. It's better if there's only a handful of them, so maybe, just maybe, I actually just want to make small groups of them, like have a few of them that get you up to a point, and then once you're at that point, then a few more that get you next. Like maybe there's a ledge here or something that you can get up to. So then I can cut a few of them out. It's not a bad idea. The world's hitting me. Oh, it's a little spinning dorks. Yeah, whatever. Ain't no one like you guys. I don't really need to fight them. Yeah, as you can see, the map now matches a little better where I'm at, so with the little picture and stuff. Yep, that's kind of about where everything is. So how's everyone else doing? Now that you've had an explanation of what's going on. Hiding the chats. Oh yeah, I did so much stuff. I would say the game is closer to like 40 to 50% done now. Not because I necessarily did as much work as you might think, so much as I cut out a lot of what made no sense. Things that just were going nowhere. Speaking of things that I'm not sure about, this tiny circus thing sucks, and that's because these stupid ropes on everything really don't seem good. These tents are okay, except for still those. No, they're all pretty bad. There's no good anything here for these. So I might put something else down here in place of this tiny circus. I haven't come with anything good yet in a while on this one. I just keep looking at it sideways, and it's in the playtest, so it actually has to be done. I can't just not do it. Ideally, I want someone you can rescue down here, but
just do it. Make your dreams.
yeah, I don't know. Pretty much. Actually, a good idea. Like at first, I liked the idea of the tiny little circus, but then I just realized the game lacks a couple things. A random collectible that I can just put places everywhere and it has no real relevance. I guess I could put coins or something, but I don't think anyone's going to spend a lot of time running around grabbing singular coins. It's not that valuable. And the enemies don't really spawn in specific areas because when I tried that, the FPS was so bad that Unreal Engine just doesn't handle having all the enemies spawned in an area very easily. It just doesn't. So it's difficult to make a unique reason to go into any particular tent. I can have keys places, so I can have the occasional really important item. I can make you go through all the tents to find the one important item. But that doesn't sound very fun, especially when you consider that I just shoved them through this maze thing. And the other option is to what? Go into every single little stupid tent here? You have to duck too, so it's like... because if they're too big, then they won't even fit and they'll just stick into the area above. I could just put junk down here. Because otherwise you gotta do this all over the place to every single one of these just to find things. And that's... I mean, that doesn't seem fun to me. I wouldn't want to do that. Also, for some reason the camera doesn't collide well with those. I don't know why it's supposed to, but... it's like, cool, great, now I gotta go in this one? Yay! What fun! You notice the FPS is like way better too, even with stuff open. I can close out all these things and just get the FPS to like stupid for... Obviously the package version's gonna be way better, but... Normally when I was doing playthroughs and everything like that, and streaming, it was like struggling to even hit 30 FPS, and here we are in the 40s. Well, I'm running Unreal Engine and OBS, so... Obviously I did a bunch of improvements in speed, except for whatever just happened there. That was not very optimized, but... I mean, all told I removed over 1,000 actors from the map. Now everything's also in data layers too, but that was already happening before. So other than adding a bunch of new data layers, I didn't really... It wasn't anything too unique. I mean, I made whole rooms, I guess, but... The only one that was a full roommate was basically the haunted hallway. I said the haunted gallery. I called it the haunted hallway for a while until it turned out it was much wider than a hallway. Yeah. I think that's every change. I wiped out Charlotte's door here, so now there's just a secret way, so once you've been into this room, then you can go back out this way. I had to set up a system where there were minor tarot cards and regular tarot cards, so that it didn't add a bunch of white blocks to the tarot selecting thing, which was a bug from the last time. So I had to write minor tarot on each one of those. Minor tarot card. Anyway. I got my to-do list broken into chapters now. And these were the remaining bugs from the last playtest up to really Patrick's room. There aren't that many left. So, and then for chapter 1, there's more, obviously. I didn't play all the way through chapter 1 because there was... You couldn't get half the level thingies because it wasn't collecting money. It had some bug where it was adding blank tarot cards, and it was... I could have beat it, but it would have been annoying. Plus, I want to give Vu better mechanics because I gave Patrick better mechanics, and it's like, well, but now Vu's kind of lame. Oh. Well, I took out the, I don't know if people saw it or not. For a while, I had like an instant kill area with Patrick, where if he was like, there were all these areas on the ground, and you had to jump between them, and if you hit the black stuff, you just died. But it wasn't fun. It really wasn't. You couldn't really dodge Patrick's attacks. You mostly just took the hits like a champion, because if you tried to dodge, you just went into the black stuff and died. So you basically just had to jump around and hope that was good enough. It was not very fun. So I took that out and just left it where, like, you know, black liquid only appears during the phase where he forces you to go into the various games and play those. And that makes the first phases pretty similar to what it was originally, but a little more fun. Because it was miserable before. Now it's just... The first phases are very... There's nothing interesting about them. They're just fine. It's mostly the whole game he plays. I might make him go into this mode sooner rather than later, too. He goes in at half health. You'll probably have to climb it 3 or 4 times in order to win. Yeah. Anyway, I think I've exhausted every new thing that I could think of. But a lot of game did get done because I cut out a lot of crap that was stupid. Oh, I cut out the 2D image creatures because, well, first off, I cut out the painting world and made it the gallery thing. So you're in the regular world, so there's no reason for things. Yeah, huge steps. At some point, you just start looking at how long it's going to take to do things and how long it's going to take to finish. And then ask yourself, well, why? Why are you doing this? Because, like, Well, the way I have it planned, there's like 13 boss fights in the game, and then if I add additional areas, great. But I mean, it'll take you a couple hours or more to get to Vu in the first place. But I ran out of places to put them too. Like, you need a pretty big area for a boss arena, and it's like, well, how many bosses are we really talking here? Like, each one needs unique mechanics. 4 of them against Charlotte, so each one has their own little unique mechanics. 3 of which are designed. The 4th one I have concepting for. I'll make that one way later. I don't care right now. That doesn't need to be made. And then 9 regular boss fights in the game. Of which I have... Patrick's pretty good. Like, I could probably ship Patrick as he is with some balance changes, and that's about it. Vu needs work because I redid her entire arena. Plus, her mechanics kind of boring by comparison. I mean, it's okay. Well, thanks, Symposium. Yeah. Getting close. But then none of the other bosses have had any time put into them. They have nothing. I don't even have models for a couple of them figured out yet. So those are going to take a lot longer. The Charlotte fights don't usually take very long. The final one will take a long time, but the first 3, the mechanics are so simple. They're like horror game mechanics, so it's like mostly don't get hit kind of setup. Her chasing after you, her playing red light, green light with you. So it's like tag, red light, green light, and then like a Little Miss Pac-Man game. But then I have to make so they have like TikTok Tilly, which is the 3rd boss. Sally, a Blackheart, is the 4th boss. The Red Queen is now the 5th boss. And then there's a secret 6th boss, which mostly will decide which ending you get. Almost certainly at that point. And depending upon the way you go, there are 3 additional bosses afterwards. Or there are 0. Because we're doing the Castlevania thing where, you know, there's a whole extra area if you happen to go a certain way. Or there's not. I'm heavily inspired. Let's put it that way. Heavily inspired. That is not what I wanted to open. Well, certainly not the one I need a little blueprint. So yeah, a lot got decided, a lot figured out. I have like just about every asset I need set up already. I mean, other than needing to decide on what Tilly's model looks like. I have a pretty cool Western looking doll, but no area for it because I considered that set up there. Well, actually, one sec. I will be right back as well. I'm gonna leave something to look at here. I make a lot of stuff right before the stream. I wasn't certain I was gonna stream, but now that I am.
Disaster averted.
I guess. Sure. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to convert some of these tutorials over to. I said, wait, do I? That's a good question. Do I really need to convert these tutorials? Eventually, I'm gonna do it because I made a better system for the tutorials now, where it just does an item collected thingy and then it goes to Poppet and it just plays audio form instead through here, so I didn't have to have multiple audio setups like that. So it's just tied into the same thing that was using for the crystal balls and things. There's still a weird bug with the map cube thingies that they're still counting them and they're not really there. I don't know what's up with that. That's bizarre. But do I need to do this? I'm trying to remember where there's been at. I got my big old talk about stuff, but yeah, now it's these ones here, and I don't have to have. And if there's like an alternate one there, but they have it or don't. For some items, you can do things like that. And then you add in a bunch of ones for just various locations. I'm thinking of getting rid of that tiny circus. I'm just debating on myself on what to put there if I get rid of it. One of these I wanted to do was move a tutorial here for how to duck for this this tent right here, because there's a key inside it. And then from that point on, you'll know to hit control to duck. Or whichever button is on the controller for it, which I'll get to it eventually. I'm coming to the conclusion that I need to just put in various dialogue things. I'm not going to necessarily finalize anything yet. A lot of things are going to get changed, and it doesn't have to be perfect for the playtest, because the playtest will be just literally to see how the game plays and if people like it, not to have the story in perfect shape or anything. I need a minute for that. That, I guess. Interesting. I found a bunch of the music I want to add, and then I put it in the game and then haven't added to a bunch of the rooms yet. Just a bunch of rooms that more sinister things, as the game gets more sinister as the farther in you go. I have a setup in here now where you can simply add in the various dialogue names here and it will let you just do things. I'm gonna borrow this thing here because I'm too lazy to find it again. Open this here. I'll have to get different pictures for how she's reacting. The whole RPG Maker style thing. These are the things that appear in the lower right corner, so they don't need to be that big. In fact, one could argue they might need to be smaller. They're almost a little too obtrusive. So, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know why I did that way. Learn to duck. I don't really need a big image on that. Sure, I guess I can say there. Sure, whatever. Or not. Learn to duck. Oh, never mind. Why am I typing learn to duck twice? I already made one for these, so I'm gonna just copy paste whatever crap is in there and I'll add it to. Welcome back. I got my Listo tutorials here. I'm adding them all here so I can go back through and know what, where it's at and then to change it. And I just have generic crap here for now. It's not. Like I say, nothing finalized in the story. I like to make references to things that happen in the world, but the big issue is I keep changing things in the world, so I'll make references to things in my writing, and then it's not there anymore, and I have to change the writing. And I'm so tired of doing that I'm just saving all the writing until very near the end. Like, there's major plot points that you hit. Those aren't changing. But individual little blurbs, those will change. God, I remember when I changed the start of the game like 4 times where it was at. I had to rewrite the start of the game 4 times, and I just gave up after. I was like, I'm good. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to redo that. That sounds like a lot of work. I actually rewrote it like 2 or 3 additional times if you count the RPG Maker version of the game. But that one is so drastically different from this game in every conceivable way that basically nothing pushes over from that. Like, that was in like a haunted attic, and that Poppet would just start out outright crazy, having potentially been there for who knows how long, doesn't even remember who she is. And yeah, it was very different vibe for certain. Very different. So it's also too wordy at first, I think. I remember watching this guy. He played my prototype. I guess he mistook it for a full-on Steam release, and I'm like, it says prototype in the thing. Like, it literally says it's a prototype, buddy. And he spent half an hour talking about the intro dialogue and stuff in that. And, you know, it takes 6 minutes to get through all the intro stuff, which a lot of it's playable, we understand. It wasn't just click through text. To the first point where you fight in the original version of this thing. And he was so upset that he didn't actually play any of the combat, because he talked about it for like half an hour, and he only did he would only play a game for half an hour and then give his opinion of it. So I watched a half an hour critical review about my intro dialogue. I was like, I kept notes and I was writing. I was like, well, thanks, I guess. would have loved if you told me about the gameplay, but okay. He wrote his review on like itch.io, and then said, you know, I agree with you, everything's really cool, but here's a video of me getting to the combat in 6 minutes. It does not, he said it took half an hour to get to combat. Like, it does not take half an hour, it takes 6 minutes. Like, okay, I'll change it. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, it counts. It was just not very valuable, I think is the term. Like, I mean, it was interesting to see. It was one of the first reviews I had. And then the next person actually played through the things, and in all honesty, it was more of a boss rush with like some crap gameplay thrown in there, like a Diablo-esque clone. It wasn't very good. And I knew it wasn't because it was like a prototype concept for a game. It wasn't far along. And it was in the wrong engine too, which said everything you need to know about that. So that was my first real review. I was like, okay, thanks, I guess. It's a thing you did. Yeah, like, yeah. I feel like the stakes are actually bigger here. Yeah, I mean, that's at least feedback you can act on. That he didn't like the intro story, which I'm like, he went over a lot of things that he didn't like, and I know at one point I referred to, you know, prostitutes as criminals because in this particular world they are. It's not like I mean, in California prostitution is illegal, so it's not like it's a weird thing. And you know, he's like, prostitution's not criminals, not going. And like, he spent like 10 minutes on this. I was like, man, this was like a throwaway additional little line here where I included the prostitutes in with other criminals in a thing, like listing off all the various criminal things that were happening in the dark. It was like a throwaway line. It wasn't like that important. It was just setting the mood for the way the city was. And I'm like, okay. I mean, you're gonna play a game where you're playing as a toy. with all these other crazy toys, the fact that whether prostitution is illegal or not in the world is pretty irrelevant to what's going on. So then I made a joke that the next version of it was actually like Poppet was more like that guy where he wanted everything to get to the point faster and was really impatient. So then the actual intro now took 2 minutes. And you played even more of it. Which actually led to Poppet being, like Tinka being almost annoying to Poppet in that version. Because she would like to talk a lot because she was trapped in a painting and all alone. And had no one to talk to. Because everyone else is crazy. So of course you'd want to talk a lot. Plus, if you've ever met many women, they talk a lot. They like to talk. They just do. So I don't know if I make Poppet that way this time around. I probably not, but it was pretty funny. It was just like that review was. I only ever had 2 people who did video reviews of the prototype that I did in RPG Maker for this game. Originally, I entered it into it was a Game Jam game, but I got one of the few reviewers from a game who didn't do a video of it. Everyone else did theirs live and stuff, and I could watch. I was like, that game was broken, and I learned that testing was more important, and I had not done it. I'm not accomplishing much today. I'm just, chatting and everything because like getting it out of my system I think is really what needs to happen. So I already did learn to duck. You're right, yeah. So I need to change that to learn to duck in the middle there if I'm going to keep 2 of them. Yeah, but the second guy did it. He said the game would have been a good $3 to $5 game, and he'd be happy to buy it when it came out. So the RPG Maker one wasn't bad, and you can try the RPG Maker one. It is available on my itch.io for anybody who wishes to just play it. It's in its end state. Like, I'm not going to ever add to it, so don't get excited. And it doesn't really have a lot of relevance to this game because everything has changed so much. But you, in fact, can find it on my itch.io. I will link it for anyone who wishes to hate their lives a little. I got your back. Oh, I have. A lot of the assets there, like when I was doing it in RPG Maker, I was using renders of the models. Because RPG Maker doesn't use models, obviously. So Poppet was always a real model, but I was using renders of it. And when I moved over to Unreal Engine, I was using Paper ZD to play a bunch of renders of the things of the model moving places. Yeah. So you can see about, I think, the first 50 videos or something. Maybe less, maybe 40, where I was using Paper ZD. And it was fine. But I mean, and there was even at one point where because I wanted to finish the RPG Maker before I started my other game, which was not going to be this game. I was using Unreal Engine to do renders of some of the models from Unreal Engine because you could use pictures of the thing, so it was perfectly fine to do that in there. And it was the most ass backwards thing you've ever seen in your life. Like, I don't know what I was smoking. I think it was just sunk cost fallacy had gone into overdrive is the best explainer I got for you on that one. Actually, it's this be down here. Time to duck is. I'm all over the place. Don't mind me. Did I even do this in the right one? Yeah, it was dumb. Like, there was so much dumb that went on there. But I did combine everything. Poppet got changed a bunch. I actually have a bunch of the old models, for that matter. I did so much work on the game. I can talk about stuff. Talk. Man, Poppet's gone through so many changes. Holy crap. Oh, that reminds me, actually. Side note, I actually found some old pictures of the game, like really old pictures of what it was like when I was before I started streaming on Twitch. Here was like the old map. This became what was floor 5 and is now floor 4. This here area was the only completed section of this big ass map. And you can see the area over here, and this was like supposed to be the second area with like this big old thing. You see how big that is? I'm gonna keep in mind that this whole area here is actually bigger than the floor is, because remember I cut 20% off. So I found those. You know, the voodoo doll's been around for a while. Yeah. It's all dilapidated and weird. It was a different game. Until I realized I just didn't have the assets to make it work. It's much more incoherent. I might still use this type of things like the weird pipes connecting things. I probably will for things, but it's not going to be as nonsensical. Weird pools and things. It was a very different game. For certain. But then... man, I went through and I recycled all kinds of assets. But I was really excited to just find a bunch of early stuff. They just, you know. Yeah, this is what I was doing previously in order to make it work. Like the renders and things, I would just render a picture of something and then make it so you could go behind them. Grass tile, boxes, chairs, lamps, like that. It was all the 2D stuff. I mean, I have models of all this crap. The original Poppet box, inside of a building, the original city, dead character, story things leading up to it. All these things that were just in the background. These were like, you know, stuff the way I was doing things inside there. Exactly. Like, you can just see all the dumb crap I did. I used to have houses like this too. Random character standing there. She's like, hey. Awkwardly, Poppet's model started out as an NPC in a different game. She got changed and looks a huge amount from her original looks. Both for the doll and for how she actually looks. But... I felt like old Poppet Quest things like environment thingies. Man, that game was just not a good game. I had a whole special graphic system set up so you could run around these things even though they were just a singular thing. Like just a 2D image, but you could still run around them, so it didn't matter. I used to do JavaScript. Yeah. Crazy, crazy. I mean... I don't know how much I'm gonna get done today. I don't really care. Like I say, I got so much done recently. I just like I want to chat with people. Cause where are you? Hidden posts. Yeah? How'd you go about creating that? What happened? I like story time. Tell me a story. Do it. Some of us need stories. It's important. There you go. You can see some of the old game. In case you want, like running around someplace like that. It was very the old RPG Maker game where you could run around behind these things and stuff like that. Of course, I don't think I'm running behind there, but. It was serviceable for RPG Maker, I guess. Wasn't awful. Wasn't that great though. Such a garbage engine. Especially when everything you're seeing on the screen, I had to make plugins to do all this crap. Terrible. You can't even display text on the screen in RPG Maker. You have to use JavaScript to do that. I don't think I run behind anything there. Yeah, lots of Imager stuff though. God, Imager, why are you so slow? Well, I thought I had things to show. Oh, you guys running around it. Walked out little paintings. You can still collect the tarot cards. I'm sad that that mechanic is not in there anymore. Are you gonna run behind something? Are you gonna just make me a liar here and never run behind anything? Yeah, so you can run behind stuff. And they just created, you know, collisions on the ground to kind of represent those. It wasn't very good. It was not a good system. It took so much time and effort to make happen for no reason. I had a quest thing though. Oh, sorry. Really enough, the other game would have been much better as a top-down. This game didn't want to be a top-down. I didn't want to make Diablo. But that's what it turned out to be like. Made a combat arena for the game. Was bored a little bit. Want to play Unreal Tournament. Can also do the work. So I made everything multiplayer. Nice, nice. I mean, sometimes, you know, out of one game pops another, right? I know Poppet Quest came about because my other game, Andrew Remember Tomorrow, had a whole bunch of ideas, and he took all the ideas that worked and crammed them into a game jam game and said, okay, all these are good ideas. Let me go ahead and get rid of all the bad ideas that have no idea and build a game off this. And then I realized I was running away in the same problem again. Where it's like, well, then this, and you know. Gotta stick with what makes it successful, right? I'll do that right there. I just need this. Another room. Not that I know if I want to keep it necessarily, but right here. This can be repeatable, I guess. I'll add this to the thing so I remember to edit it and make it not stupid later. Maybe. Those are story messages. I want those on tutorials. At some point, me and my brother were we could not come to a conclusion which you had to use A or B's. I decided I want to make both. Switch settings. That's how it begun. The vibe began. I mean, you know, everyone needs a game dev origin story, right? Most people's game dev origin stories start with a lot of failure. And that's actually where it just ends with just a lot of failure. Never gets beyond just failing to the next project. But every once in a while, something comes good out of it, yeah? I guess I can make it repeatable and then just give them the item. And then get rid of it later? Is that what I want? Yeah. I think that's the mark of, you know, a game dev that will eventually succeed when you know, you can admit that they're failures. It's not that you have a lot of failures that becomes the important thing. It's that you can admit, hey, you know, messed up here. I shouldn't do that again. The number of people who just keep banging their head into the wall and hoping for that different result. It's pretty high indeed. I think I'm going to get rid of this one here. I think it's just going to be a singular one. And I'm going to hand out the item to complete it up here. And this way it'll keep telling you to duck by that tent so you can walk into it. I don't want too many tutorials, but I do gotta explain stuff to people. Goodie box. And the duck right here. This can be repeatable. Welcome to Faithful Minion. Faithful Minion. Wait, what? What are you talking about? That reminds me, I should add a message to the I wanted to join the Discord too, because you know the Discord messages. I forgot to add it to YouTube. Fix that real fast. Ugh. Stupid trailer thing. I don't want to hear that every 5 seconds. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Fix that fast. Both of these. Oops. In that. This pin message, sure. Over here, do the same. And that one instead. And then when you say there. I'm missing messages here. Made a lot of failed things, yes. That's how it goes. Never from the first one. Yeah, no, I mean, you know. Sometimes the failures can be turned into successes too. YouTube recently is like 0 views. Kick 1. Twitch is like the best place so far. Twitch as a community is more important. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I found that Twitch kind of stopped counting a lot of people, and it's, you know, but I also haven't been streaming in a while too, so yeah, it's. Sometimes YouTube gets a bunch of views. If you stream at the right times, you get sleepers and everything, but all in all, I found that other than enjoying talking to people, there is 0 point in streaming. 0. Like, it does not really do a very good job of getting your game out there. It does kind of build a community if you stream a lot. That's true. But beyond that, you really want to probably make videos and build up your audience before that. And every day that I post on like social media, like I could make a short of like 30 seconds of my gameplay, post it to YouTube, Imager, and like X. And between that, I'll get like 1,500 to 2,000 views or more. Like even at the height of my streaming, like I once hit over like 1,000 views between YouTube and Twitch during a singular stream. Yeah, so like from an advertising standpoint, streaming is actually a waste of time. But from a I like to chat with people because it's fun, streaming's great. I just like chatting with people. And since I feel way better like right now, who knows how long that'll last. Yeah. Oh, thanks for that, Evan here. How's it going? Yeah, like it's just, you know, probably not building a Discord off of Twitch and well, off of shorts to like X and YouTube and things like that. It's probably not happening, but maybe. Haha, yes, someone followed. Yes, yes, yes. Got to start building those followers again. I had a couple people follow over the course of the 2 months I took off. So, you know, that's cool. But I got to admit that my health doesn't really, like, my health problems don't really do very well with streaming, which is so horrible because I love streaming and I would stream all the time. But, you know, that's fine. I am going to stream some, but like I said, it probably won't be those 8 to 10 hour things anymore. Oh, you don't even need a duck to fit in here. I walked through this. Well, that's no fun. I want to have the duck to go in there. Too big. 0 out of 10. Tiny. I said we're tiny now. But yeah. I'll probably end up streaming like, you know, at most 4 hours at a time. So it gives me time to move around more and not put that weight on my back and neck, because, yeah. I realized that over the entire time I've streamed on Twitch, I've taken 3 months of it off because of health problems that were made worse by streaming. So it took all of last January off as well. I was in the, like, the first issues were just having trouble walking started happening because of that. I was just like... So that's... not ideal. Okay, that was just weird. He's just sitting there watching me. He's like, what? It's my ball pit. Okay, this poses a problem here because it's supposed to hit off of this with the collision, and it's not with the camera. It's ignoring the camera. This should block the camera too. So it's just defaulted to block the camera and block visibility, and yet you can look through it. I guess I can make it where you don't have to duck to go into this. This feels like an unnecessary extra. It's kind of cool to go in here and find everything be tiny, which is kind of amusing. But the fact that it does this when I rotate around it is a pretty awful experience. And I think it's just because the test for the camera isn't close enough. But I don't know if I want it to be. Or maybe it doesn't go far enough out. The spring arm, right? Blah, 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 blah. Where was this dumb thing? I just wanted to test, so maybe it's not under... It does do collision test, sure. Camera collision. Probe size 12. What if I increase the probe size? 2 off now. Not slept tonight. Fix things down and rest. Really glad to see you back. Yeah. Glad to see you as well, hanging out and chatting and all that. And thanks, yeah. But definitely, yeah, get some sleep. I would say I might still be streaming by the time you get back up, but I think we just established why that's a bad idea for me to do that. We'll see if my health keeps getting better. I'm all about it. Yeah, okay, this is not going to work. It's just too small. Because it should not do this. It's not even colliding with the sides. Huh. Yep. Sleep well. If you can't sleep, I'll be here. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yeah, maybe. Laying down doesn't exactly necessarily make me feel better. It's the worst part. Because really, like, laying on my back makes me feel the best. Laying, like, if I lay with like my head down like this, looking up, it actually doesn't work very well at all. It's actually pretty bad on my neck. Now this collision's terrible. Why do you hate this thing? Let's just say I grab this and move it to a different location entirely. I have a better idea for it. I think I'm going to get rid of the tiny circus. Right now. Yeah, like, laying on my back is like the only way I can actually do where I don't have issues. Sometimes. I can still have issues laying even on my back. There's sometimes where it's just nothing works. There's nothing I can do. And then I must suffer. Yes, I'm just going to move this box. This box is not tied to this room. Come with me. I have to move it. I can't just copy paste it or it's gonna bitch at me. Ooh, my first bot since I came back. Yay! I was almost lonely without the bots showing up in, the chat over there to be like, "Bim, bim, 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 bim. Give us money so we can use our phone farms to fake traffic." I get that most of the traffic on, social media and everything at this point is actually just pure fake crap, and there's actually very few real people, but what would be the point? You can learn to duck right here. This is the first necessary duck to get through in the game. I guess I could start actually working and not just dicking around and chatting. I guess right here would be fine. It's kind of an issue right here where, because this is so far away, like I might actually want to make no space between these. Okay, I just failed that. So this way the player is intended to duck and fall, maybe? Why do you keep moving back? Oh, sit there. Today is technical difficulty day. Or I can just do this and just leave where it was, too. That's probably fine. Maybe I just don't do that. Maybe it just looks better if I don't.
That means I'll have to put the box that gets rid of this thing somewhere else. Okay, the fact you can kind of get stuck there is weird. But you don't really fall, so... That's fine. So then if I want to remove that stupid tutorial... The way I just have it set, like say, it just is repeat. If you click repeatable, it will not give you the item for these. But if you don't have repeatable, then it will just give you an item that basically says, "Hey, I have this," and then it'll never say it again. So later on, I can just give you that item, and it's the same thing. But it has to say story progress. That's the difference. That's the one I have to remember. It has to be that. What story progress just represents is, the one you can't see. It's a big laundry list of every single thing so that they never do it again. Otherwise, the "do I have this" check doesn't quite work the same. I like having it separate because if I make it the same item, then I don't have a way to do it the way I'm doing it here. So I need one extra little trigger box here, and the trigger box for this needs to... I guess I put it in Patrick's room. Because this will be the last point where you have to go this way, but you'll have had to have gone through the other area first, which means you would have gotten that message. If I put it in the waiting room, it's actually possible to go to the waiting room first.
And the waiting room needs work anyway, so maybe the waiting room will get actually added afterwards. Maybe it will, I don't know. That room is kind of a catastrophe. I don't like it very much. Let's just make it where you really can't bypass this. Yeah, for those who don't know, you can go up here, you can find yourself a trigger box, drag it out here. There's different volumes. Trigger volume can be any shape, or there's like a whole bunch of ones there. And then once it's selected, you can go to the level blueprint. And I'm gonna create a new little thing for this here, not the Poppet check here, to amaze graph like this here. I'll just add an event for it. Add an event for it. You can, whichever one's selected, you can add events for it, and I can add a collision. I'll make it an overlap. And now that trigger box has a level blueprint thing that's available everywhere. Hey, Adventures Game Development. You would be correct. I was having lots of health problems, took a couple trips to the ER, and didn't stream for like 2 months. So if you saw streams, that means that you were either took the really good stuff, in which case, hey man, why aren't you sharing? What the hell? Or you were dreaming, in which case, hey, you're dreaming of this face? I understand, I would dream of me too. How's it going, man? Alright. I do have it in the copy paste already. I didn't copy paste this thing. Most what I have to do now is literally just putting in tutorial crap and little bits of dialogue that just are enough to make the playtest functional. It's doing better. I was just getting like waves of like, you know, basically like pain and everything like that, the body and like that. It's just the whole time. It would last for hours and having a hard time walking, feeling I was gonna pass out and everything, and then over time it's gotten better. Pretty certain I've narrowed it down to the 2 upper vertebrae in my neck, which is like a it's like a cervical instability, and it can cause all my problems, but unfortunately I need like a standing MRI to get it looked at, and those are hard to get because when you're laying down there's no pressure on your spine. They can't see it in an MRI. I've had MRIs on my neck before. I had one 5 years ago. So I thought it was my neck causing all these health problems, but they've been going on for like 5 years. And then, you know, I found out about this accidentally, of all reasons. Like, enough coincidences led to this, and I was like, wait, I match all these. So what happened was, I would get the world's worst acid reflux, like literally just like spitting up acid levels of bad, and nothing would fix it. Not even like GERD medication, nothing. And they could find nothing wrong that could cause it. Apparently, there's a whole nerve system like that, and I'm blanking on the name right now. I have it written down somewhere. Medical jargon. It goes basically throughout your whole upper body. Your neck all the way down to your stomach. And that can cause all manner of problems. Well, alcohol would stop my acid reflux completely. Like, just half of a bottle would be enough to completely stop it, no matter what I ate. It was crazy. And people were like, that should make it worse. I know, right? Everything said it would. But then they said, hey, wait. The alcohol stopping acid reflux is a symptom of this particular nerve thing here being like, you know, irritated, messed up. And, you know, the whole neck being messed up can mess up that whole nerve system. I was like, oh, okay. So it led to the other thing there. It's like, well, what can cause that? Okay, well, which of these do I match with? I've been trying to solve this for like 5 years, man. It has been the roughest thing for certain. Oh wait, this is Patrick Shrimcraft. Anyway, I've been feeling better. Walking around helps a lot. Not being bent over in front of a computer helps a lot, so I wasn't streaming, because streaming makes it worse. And streaming is obviously terrible for my health. I don't think I'll be doing 8 to 10 or 12 hour streams in the future. It'll be like 4 hours kind of thing. And I'll maybe work back up to more of them. I expect them to be a lot more inconsistent for a while, but at least I'll go back to doing some of them for certain. Just only some of them, and not like a job where I was doing it where, because I mean, it's not like it makes any money, so it's not worth my health being messed up over. Even if it made money, it wouldn't be worth my health being messed up over. But when you're pulling like 30 cents an hour doing it, like, and I mean, back in January, I had to take a month off too for the same health problems. That was when the issues with walking started happening. So, yeah. In the course of a year, I had to take 3 months of it off because of health problems. Because it's pretty bad. Right? Yeah, bios like software, you have bugs from these different systems. Right? Yeah, exactly. So, I'm definitely going to take it a lot easier. Even though I really want to stream and tell because I love streaming. The simple reality is my body does not like streaming. I could try standing more, and I probably should. Though I don't have the easiest time standing in place at the moment either. It makes it really uncomfortable. Like, it's hard to focus on what I'm doing because the pressure on my spine. So it's kind of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's no real way I can lay that's pretty good either, except for occasionally on my back works okay. So. And if my neck pops in any direction, then it causes the problems to shift around, so. One of the worst things is my calves and my feet end up numb, and they just kind of stay that way, so it makes standing suck. I can still walk around. Like, if I'm walking, it's not too bad, but if I have to stand in a location, it's awful. So. But that's not going to stop me from finishing the game. Never. Nothing will stop me from finishing the game. Nothing. Well, I don't need this. Oh, I need a Poppet check. I don't need anything afterwards. Just learn to duck. Actually, the first one could just be learn to duck. I don't even need this extra thing because this will progress this story automatically. That'll work fine. I basically have to go through and everywhere where these things with a set head dialogue system was in, I need to replace them with this other one there that can play audio and everything and just does a much better job, so I don't have to have the code in multiple locations. That's what I need to do. But it's tedious, so I haven't wanted to do it. It's that simple. It's just tedious. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't want to. But it's one of the last things I need to do. It's do this, toss in story, and I need to fix the projectile system because in trying to make it better, I foobarred it. Yeah. And that. Gotta go. I see pushing yourself and health problems make everything murder. Yeah. I mean, thanks for dropping by and chatting and all that. Oh, wait. Did you give me money on there? Wow. Oh man, thanks. You are in fact the first person to ever give me money on YouTube. Thank you, thank you. Let me, whenever anyone donates to me, you get added to the credit to the game. As one of the supporters. And you can get added multiple times in the credits because you can support on all, there's like, I'm on Kick, YouTube, and Twitch, so. And I rank him on, like, you know, basically whoever's doing it the most gets ranked highest. So, you know. Or I can make it all lowercase if you want. Or split it up if you want. Yeah, thanks. One step closer to game dev domination. I guess it's more like stream domination at that point, right? Not really game dev domination. The game's not out yet. I did have a trailer. That's true. I have a trailer. It is on the if you follow the link on Steam, if you haven't seen it yet, I have a trailer for the game. I can actually just show it on stream, I guess. There's that too. technically can. It's my trailer. I'm not gonna get copyright claimed probably by myself. If I get copyright claimed by myself, I'll let it be known that apparently I'm an asshole if I do that to myself. I know. I don't know what to tell people. It would be pretty funny in that okay kind of way. Yeah. For anyone curious, this is my current little trailer for it. Let me make it bigger. It's only like 1:38, so. Made a bunch of clips for X and then crammed them together. It does need work, but for pre-alpha footage. I need to re-record it because it's at the time there was a lot more lag. People are like, it looks like you did 15 FPS in some areas. They're probably right, to be fair. It's not even in the game anymore. I need a better city thingy too. So for my pre-alpha trailer, it's okay. Is it the best? No. Fine. You know what's better than? Having no trailer. Which just what it had. It had no trailer. It was very sad. I do need to go back and do some updating to the game though. That'll probably be I don't know. It'll be relatively soon, but I wanted to have enough new content to make a secondary trailer that was better than the first one, so then they could see the first trailer after seeing the second trailer and at least, you know, have like 2 different hype trailers. And I just haven't done that yet. It's on the list. The long list. This really is just so I can go back later and know where the things are at. So I know what it is I need to write and what to make right better. Like, I mean, these are just literally like quick off the cuff types of things because I have learned the best method for me in doing anything is to just make something. It doesn't matter what I make as long as I make something, because it's very easy to improve upon something that already exists as opposed to trying to make it perfect on the first try. Which is very hard. Also, it can spell check it by moving it into there, so that helps a lot. Hear me out. Spell check. Good. This is actually called don't know why I technically have wedges. And then over here for like a fail state here. Actually, maybe like Need Magician Tarot was what I'll call it. I have so many documents of various things. You'd be surprised how much text is in this game. For like descriptions on items, things like that, you know. Clues on boxes, you know, to try to find hidden areas. Tutorials, dialogue between characters, like it's not supposed to be a heavily, you know, talked about game, because, you know, like, quite literally, if I make that a big thing, like, my writing is my least proven skill, so it seems stupid to lean hardest upon my worst skill. Like, it might not be my worst skill, maybe I'm just a worse programmer and secretly the best writer ever, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that is not true. That I'm probably not the best writer ever. So I like this little track. It's just so exciting. It makes everything seem so epic. Oh. I can shoot each new thing in the conversation by just simply adding it here. I need to convert the other dialogue system into this one, but the other dialogue system was made by following a YouTube tutorial. And I realize I need to have an option menu that appears. And then I would want to have these not vanish. And this isn't really built to do that. But I like entering the dialogue like this, where I can just see each thing that's said in order. But I guess it's not very good for branching dialogue, so I guess the other way is probably better. True. Oh, don't include that. The whole thing at the end. I didn't let them pop it, right? It matters. They have to be identical or it won't work. Because it's going to check for that one string. Yeah, there's everything, like all the different audio dialogues, everything goes in here, like information about each of the cards, puzzle, all this stuff just goes in this giant info bank thingy and it just pulls information out of it. Or whenever I need anything like that. So I only have to look in this one space, and it's all on Poppet too, so she's portable to other maps. Because having it on a map means that I would have to program it to every map, and originally there were 4 maps, which is why I did it this way. There are not 4 maps now, but having Poppet be portable is always nice. Poppet does all our own tutorials, so. Much of the game will be Poppet talking to herself, or Tinka, because most everyone else is crazy, so there aren't many people she can talk to. There are probably going to be about 8 NPCs in the game who are not crazy, or in relative states of crazy, but are at least able to hold a conversation with you. I'll have to look. It'll be basically everyone from the RPG Maker version with and a couple new characters added in. And I'm probably not putting the character from the game that never was in there. As funny as that is, it's very lore breaking. Unless I make her a toy, I might do that as a funny joke. I could see doing that. I could be that guy. Like, you never know, man. I'm just saying, hear me out. What if? And I'm just saying. Oh, don't do that. Can I not delete that? There. Alright. This one I gotta duplicate because it's in 2 locations. See, I have to explain to them what to do with the doors. So in the carnival room they need this, and then over in the magician room they need it as well. And it has to be on 3 different doors. And then I have to have one for the drawers as well, because it's not really explained what these are. I guess it's only on 2 of the doors. Yeah, it's just not really explained what they are. Like, I mean, like the mechanic is said initially, but after that it's like, cool, great. And even then I don't even want to say it initially. I think I'd rather just have it told in the world as an actual tutorial instead of just blurbing something right at you. It also used to be that you had to, this thing would display the information with the HUD command directly, And then I had to clear the hub when you left the box, but I'm not doing that anymore. Now it's just reliant upon these items, and if you get the item, then that is acceptable. Instead of having to get all crazy with it. But yeah, I want to go through and replace all these because the set HUD dialogue thing, I mean... I just don't want to have to update 2 different sets of code. It's really that simple. In the long run, it's really tedious to have to do that, so... Nah, I don't wanna. Don't wanna. Let's say, no tarot, I guess. Sure. I imagine this is super exciting to people and all that, but this is some of the stuff you gotta do. I guess that doesn't actually adopt the thing there. I'd, because I didn't copy it out of there. Yeah, that's true. My ordering is weird. That one's on me. But yeah, like I say, if you don't pull this information out when you go to try to find it later, you're gonna have a hard time. You have to go find every little point in the game and pull it out and check it and change it or do whatever. And this would be the non-glamorous part of game dev. But I mean, it's probably why it took forever to convince myself to do it. Just wait until I have to go use like a... I'm going to use an AI voice thingy for the playtest. In the final game, I probably won't use AI voices, but for the playtest where the dialogue is going to get changed and is only going to be like placeholders, I'm just going to use it. Because what I need is the experience of them being able to hear the thing said and not have to read it. So I need that to know how that plays out. But I recently got some funds towards, you know, the game. So I can probably afford voice acting. But voice acting is not free. So make certain those dialogue lines are finalized before they happen. Or it's going to be a real bad time. So some good news, like, you know, I'll probably be able to do that, and it'll probably be really good in the long run. But that is... we'll see. I mean, it'll probably be like multiple rounds of me recording audio from, you know, like paying someone to do it. Because the demo will probably get audio recorded specially for it. And then... with how my health has been, I think the game is more likely to go on early access sometime near the end of this year. Well, near the end of technically next year, because we're still in, you know, 2025, but near the end of 2026. Originally, I was trying to try for a release, but I keep losing months and months to health problems. That is just obviously completely foobarring my timeline that was already very tight. So I don't really think that's going to be how it pays out this time. I don't think it's going to work like that. I think I'm going to have to make some changes. I just don't think it'll work otherwise. Which is unfortunate, but I mean, what do you want? Like, you know, health problems are random. It's not like I have someone to work on it if I'm not working on it. I wish. That would also require more money. I do not have that kind of money. I do have a little money. I do. But...
a lot of it came down to the fact that I moved my home office to just my house and started doing my business out of my house. So that means there's a lot more money every month. Turns out not having to pay rent on 2 locations and only paying it on 1 is very good. 10 out of 10 would recommend paying rent on only 1 location, not 2. That was very expensive. Plus, it cuts my gas costs too. I don't really have to drive back and forth. Wasn't a huge amount of driving, but it's not $0. It was basically about $100 a month saving just gas. So all told, I basically cut my bills by like $600 to $700 a month. It wasn't a very big office, so it didn't need. It wasn't like the hugest amount of rent, but you know, it wasn't free either. Did add up. I couldn't even get there for months. It was terrible. Test these out. I might want a tutorial message that appears when I actually receive an item too. That could be a thing. Wouldn't be that hard to set them up, I guess. I should put pictures on my dev menu. I should actually add the dev menu to the regular menu too. You don't have the thing? That is not correct. Yeah. All quiet on the western front, I guess. Aha! Oh, I haven't banned this pot yet. That's no fun. Sure, it'll take a long time to rebuild any kind of streaming traffic. That's okay. Like I said, I'm probably only going to do like 4-hour streams at most. Any more than that, I just feel like I'm pushing it, and that seems silly. I might take a break here in a second anyway. Every 2 hours I need to get up and move around a little bit. We're all overdoing it was my big problem last time. No, it's just Terror the Magician. I didn't change this, that's the problem. Also, I don't need this. I got one for push the button. I haven't put that in there yet though. Some of these tutorials have been here longer than the way I have my level system, so trying to go change on the other map too. Doing a pretty good day though. Last night was the night first night I was able to really test, you know, being able to stream again for a while and not have problems. And I was able to stream, well, not stream, but I was able to like basically sit there and use the computer for enough hours in a row that I could technically stream. Before that I was having problems every time and I just couldn't do it. Even right before the stream I wasn't feeling very good for like an hour. But you want to get it right after that anyway, because that's usually I'll feel better for a while. Get a different message. Yep, perfect. I was just looking for the wrong tarot card.
It's possible I want these blocks to be smaller and the text to be clearer. Maybe I don't use the weird text I'm using. I'm just running over and testing each of these areas. Let me test it without the Magician's Arrow. I don't have a way to take out away from the Magician's Arrow. Like, I don't have a thing that sets you to all zeros. Probably could for the depth thing, but I just didn't. There's never really any point I want to set to all zeros. I should also have been over by the other area, but I didn't do that. Whatever. Doesn't take long to get there. So... Yep. That was already up. I'll take a quick break for a sec here. I will be right back. We can all stare at the sky for reasons. The moon's not out tonight. It might come out at some point. It does move slowly, so it could happen. Anyway, I'll be right back. I miss anything? Maybe I did. Not a bad track. I'm not sure it would fit in this game anywhere, but sometimes I want determination thingies going on where it seems like, you know, it's like a last ditch effort type of thing. And getting old views in the after not streaming for a while going to be tough. I think I was actually watching them. Fair enough. Or if they are, they're not saying it because it doesn't always tell me these things. But that's okay. I haven't done anything useful today anyway. A lot of just me coming back and greeting some people so they know I'm alive. Unfortunately, what I'm doing today is not the most exciting, but it's just I have only so many things left to do. Ooh, this track. There's so many Dark Fantasy Studio tracks that are just really good. But I also have like, you know, a few hundred of them because I bought like 2 Humble Bundles and they gave me like everything under the sun. I don't hate that one. It's still going. I'm gonna add that to my take a look at those tracks because I like that one. The other ones I didn't think were going to really make the cut, but I think that this one's in the right area could do it. It has just about the right childlike wonder, but a bit of a creepy mystery to it. I need a wave to MP3 converter. The old WAV. Hopefully that annoys lots of people by calling it a WAV as a joke. Yes. Doink. Convert. So many free converters out there. Download. Gimme, gimme. I think I know what people will see, so I don't care about any of that. Good, good. I keep other business files on here too, and I don't always want those on the internet. Hear me out. It's not always the best decision to just dump that crap places. So it's just DFS. Dark Story. This track is hitting well. I'll add to the list, but I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet. Because early on, well, it does have a more of a creepy theme. I don't want it to be sinister, right? Maybe like a bit of something going wrong type of feel. That's fine, but I don't want it to be not like the worst thing. I want it to be just playfully off. I think is where I wanted to start. But by the end, I want it to come across as wrong. Like what's going on is not okay. Kind of thing. Like, you know, it's. I mean, obviously, what's going on is not okay, but I want it to take a much darker turn. So in the last area, like I need tracks that are like that there's just a wrongness to them, like a childlike wrongness. So yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. So I convert all these things over to the new item system. All right, push the button. Push the button. This one's in the magician room. Oh, actually, it's just like one, actually just one and bold underline. Right? No, it's actually just 11. Just the bold underline makes it look bigger than it is. Fair enough. Need this. I don't know why I'm putting upkeep for everyone. It's just for Poppet talking, I guess, but for other characters talking, I want to use a different picture, obviously, so. Though I haven't seen a tutorial where it isn't just Poppet talking. Kind of a habit, though. Alright, so we have one called a press the button. Press the button. Oh, while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this picture. It is annoying that I have to put in every time for these, but whatever. I'm not sure I want all these to ever show up again, so I'm not sure I'm going to have an initial tutorial ever explaining them. A lot of them are very contextual. I thought about having tutorials for specific things, but most of them are things that are so contextual for where they're at, I don't see where you would ever use them again. Take the push the button dialogue and dump it right here. Sometimes you gotta convert all the systems over, yo. Oh, I don't need to type that there, I can do this. That there, remove this crap. I don't need these anymore. I've evolved to a higher plane of coding goodness. Oh yeah, for the light. I almost wonder if I need to have like the full name in there all the time, or if we just, I mean, I guess it kind of fits better to have it, but I have to question how necessary the full name is. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make these tutorials visible later. Or just talking seems like it solves this problem. I don't really think it needs to be done any more than that. The new system is so much more efficient. For certain. Not needing end overlap events is so good. I miss any messages when I wasn't looking? Yeah. When do I choose to come back to streaming? Right during the time of night, which is always the lowest viewing on my streaming. Nice. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, hey? Don't question it. I finally just felt better enough to stream. I would have streamed. I was trying to stream about 2 hours earlier than this, but yeah. I'll probably stream like another hour just so I can say I streamed a bunch and fix some things and talk to some people, get it out of my system. Then maybe tomorrow I'll try to show back up and stream more. I'm definitely gonna try to do it a lot more often. Oh, this track, maybe. This is a surprising amount of creepy music amongst the things, or like in playful creepy music that I'm looking for. This is a different track entirely. I don't like this one. It has this weird timbre to the music that one of the notes just really bugs me. I don't like it. That note there. Yeah, something about it makes my ears unhappy. That part I like. And this one here does a why am I doing it in this order? This is stupid. Yeah, it should be one. It should be open the map here. Yeah, it went back to that crap music that I don't like. Damn. Sometimes I'm feeling it. Sometimes. We don't really need to set other actor here. We standardizing. Well, these say story progress. That's not acceptable. These are tutorials. Oh wait, no. This is the one that needs to be. Everything else doesn't need to be. Because story progress is the hidden one behind the scenes that is what I'm checking against, not these. The item collected is just where it's doing that. It's just so I can later on turn it off. So. This task was really boring and exactly why I didn't want to do it. I already have it listed in here, huh? Until much later. Like, I knew I didn't want to do it, but I've been eyeing it sideways for a while. Hopefully more people show up and chat with me while I do it, because it's boring. This is the same one, right? Like, this track is half good and half garbage. And it just doesn't have much of an in between. It's just either absolute trash or pretty good. Like, if it was always this, I'd be super into it. But I don't like this part. Yeah. don't think I could stand listening to that for very long. It's fine the first time. I'm almost out of tutorials, by the way. They're only in the first handful of rooms, but I just didn't have them done. I took the duck out. New ones will probably show up too. I kind of want to remind the player about painting blockers too. Here I was telling him about the map, which I figured, you know, the toy maze might be the first time where the map would be fairly handy. At least giving you a vague idea of where you're at. It doesn't really show you inside the maze, just which section of the room you're in. But at least you know which section of the room you're in case you get all turned around. But the painting blocker mechanic is also in here. I have a thing that can display whenever you're directly in the room. I don't really have special dialogue on the item collected though, which is interesting. I could. If I wanted, I guess, play audio for it. Or I can play something as soon as you walk in the room. Those are the systems I currently have set up. I'd have to kind of set up a special system for if I wanted it to say it when you destroyed it. Which would just mean I'd add it to the item collected and then just have to have a special case for each one. If you see one of these, then I could do that. I want to take these. It'd be like the painting blocker 1, 2, 3. These are this type of item though. I could go get the room that the player is in, switch on that. I don't hate that idea, having dialogue for when you destroyed them to mark them as important, as opposed to right now where there's nothing really, there's no hard indicator to the player that they're important other than Tinka needing to tell you about them, which is not even in the game yet that she tells you about that. So I need to go through and establish importance of things, so that's a thing. Oh. Wait. Is that... Oh. Terry Now Play actually joined as a member. I didn't even know what that was. Oh, it's the second person. Oh. Well, now when I see her next, if you're not actually on right now still, now I feel bad. I didn't realize that's what it was. I was looking at the message going, it's highlighted for some reason. I don't understand. I just feel bad. Oh, let me add her to the credits too. Members. What is this? 9? 9? 9? It's in the header. Why is there a header in there with a 9 in it? Can I edit? Undo that. I don't know why there's a 9 there. It's weird. Anyway, members. Okay. Yeah, now I feel bad. I didn't realize. So yeah, if you're still watching Sarah Napoli, yeah, thanks for becoming a member and becoming the first person and teaching me that even existed. Wow. That is embarrassing. I am not as competent in the ways of the YouTube memberships as I thought I would be. Well, thought I would be, and this is the first one, so interesting. Still funny. So I guess just play collectible audio. It's fine, and I could just and then for each name of item, I have to have a special thing that's said. Next already deciding it doesn't like this. That's okay. Like I'll go 3 or 4 hours and then I'll just keep it short today. I need to lean back more when I do things. Man, this just feels so bad now. I feel terrible. I missed that. Anyway, I need to figure out what these are called. I got sidetracked. Because when collected, they are... Where for these ones here? Meeting blocker. Puzzle item name. I think the spawner has the information for how it's done. How it's done. I can still hear the K-pop Demon Hunter song in my head now. You can never forget that music. You do understand this, right? It can never be done. For the rest of your life, you will hear the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack. There's no real escape. Don't watch it. Don't do it to yourself. This track. Oh, I was really feeling it for a second there. Now it sounds like it's off tune. Now I hate it. So it's on this here. I'm trying to remember how I did the system here. It's the encounter thing. And when the character dies, that's grab, makes sense. Yeah, so it's just name of item and item type, huh? Sure. So then this sends it over to Puppet Master sends. No, the NPC graph is different. Spawns in, setup puzzle, setup puzzle. Interesting. Okay, so activate puzzle happens if it has. Okay, sure. I figured it was something along these lines, but I just didn't. I did it so long ago.
And I don't keep the best notes, but I can usually just follow the logic to remind myself. I should keep better notes.
But I don't know. I didn't. So it's gonna send the puzzle item, puzzle type. So those are what I have to match against these. It's the encounter system here, toy maze. And so there's no generic. I can't. There's not just painting blocker. Oh, this hands out by a puzzle, right? Puzzle record. Puzzle record doesn't work the same. But that's fine because I mean that's fine. I don't care. Sure. It's actually perfect. But I've already pulled the collectible collection here, right? Yeah, I found the collection here that it's in. It needs to have okay. So Strut Collectibles needs to have a special one just for it. That's what it looks like. Or I have to basically add to it. Well, if it doesn't, it'll just find it and then add it, so it doesn't matter. Like, if it has nothing in there, then that's fine. That's how the Miss Popman one works, so sure. We're gonna do switch on it here. With 0, it's obviously not doing anything. I don't care about 0. Actually, to be fair, I can just... I can just delete the 0. I cannot delete the 0? Is that not a possibility? Okay. Can't remove the first one, huh? Or the second one? Or... only the... I guess you have to remove them from the bottom, huh? Oh. Well, I'm gonna do something here. More for my own curiosity than anything else. If I do 1, that changes that to 2. Okay. I was just curious if it would all run off. And then you can, oh, that's interesting. You can actually remove the 2. Huh. Hey, Louis Fitness 09. Metroidvania is basically a combination of the Metroid and, like, you know, Symphony of the Night type of, you know, like a Castlevania Symphony of the Night type of setup there, where it's largely a platformer, essentially, where you end up collecting various things that let you backtrack to various areas to solve things you couldn't before. With the most, like, the easiest example is double jump, right? You know, let's say you get to a thing you can't jump on because you can't jump high enough, but you get double jumps and now you can jump up there. Where you get some sort of thing that lets you pick up a big boulder and place it somewhere, something like that. And the difference between, like, Metroid versus, like, the Castlevania things is one is a lot more RPG, where you collect a lot of weapons and things like that. Think like Bloodstained Symphony of the Night. Hollow Knights in Metroidvania is another famous one. And of course the Metroid side, where it's pure collectibles and there's no leveling. So it's less RPG and more collectathon, but just to give you kind of a concept of what it is. Like, I'll give you a bit of an idea here with this room here for an explainer for what they do. So a real prime example is there's really no way for this character to get up these shelves, right? Like, she can't get these drawers, she's too small. She even talks about it. So you do these drawers, like 5 times the size, not moving those without some help. Yeah. The game's currently in, you know, alpha, so the buttons will change. But you see, she can't get up there. It's a problem. So I'll go get the thing that lets you get up there. So then that way is basically barred from me. I can't get that way. But if I go over and click the button, I'll jump on the button. She now gets the ability to mess with these drawers. Now she can go this way. And in some instances, you'll have to, like, you know, backtrack to other rooms because, you know, you don't have the item you need to get places. And that's a very Metroidvania type of thing. And now I can go all over here. Oh, and I fell because I'm terrible at this game. Would have been more ideal just to go this way anyway, but there's a bunch of pipes up there I could have jumped around as one too. But then I'll get to another area where I don't have the right item, so I'll just give myself the item so I don't have to worry about it, but it's gonna block my jump. She's going crazy. Don't myself up before I try to turn the light. Normally Metroidvanias are 2D, They also feature a lot of combat too. Platformers don't tend to be all combat centric, but Metroidvania is usually very combat centric. Not always. I mean, there's things like Risk of Rain that are, I guess, a Metroidvania. Yeah, see, she can't get by this grate. It's a problem. But I'll give myself the item to get by the grate. And now I can bypass it. Same with the windows. You couldn't get through the windows, but this thing lets you open windows. So you get an idea of how they work in these things. You all have to go find wherever it's at and often backtrack to things to get it. Or another fun example being... I should have dropped myself out on the island, would have been faster. Oops. I can jump my way out there. If I can get through this little area. Whee. I can go this way, it's perfectly fine, but then I'll get over to this area where the things are smaller and it's like, The way gets much harder. Normally you wouldn't be able to go this way. I mean, you could try. I think you can make a lot of the jumps. Getting stabbed. My computer's kind of a potato, so it's a little slow. But yeah, if you get this item here, then you can grow these instead. Now you can jump on them real easily. There's a big long thing to get this item. I just, you know, as a dev, just gave it to myself instead because obviously I'm not going to go do the full thing to get it. I guess I could, but like it involves, I don't know, about 10 minutes worth of work to get it from this room. It's kind of the point of this room to get this item. Yeah, that's typically the Metroidvania thing, and then you start putting all the abilities together later on to get other places and do more things, and yeah, you get more and more powerful as the game goes along because you'll just get newer abilities that let you do all kinds of things. Such as this room. I'll give myself all those abilities now. Wait for everything spawning, so it's taking a moment because it's being slow. So my computer's a potato. So Namesh broke and she's just being weird. Now it spawned that in. I was gonna grab that earlier and then nope. Oh, it loads faster than this, but this is the first time this room's loaded today, so and in the engine it's a little crappy. So I was able to use the magician to pick up that cube. You can just bounce on the couch. There's nothing special about bouncing on the couch. Oh no, so bad. Jump up, quick, quick. Don't get it. I'll use the magician to pull those out. Now I just make the jump, nice. Now I have a weapon to destroy this thing. This will let me grow this up so I can get up here. Try to grow it up, get caught in it because it's finicky and weird. Fall off it like an idiot and die. Ah, yeah. It is what it is. I didn't have much trouble with this thing, but today I seem to be having some trouble. Murder this thing. I remember to remove these plants. These particular plants are terrible for this. Because sometimes that happens. And it doesn't happen with all of them. It just seems to happen with this particular one. Which means its collision isn't very good. So I gotta get one of the ones that has a wider flower on it, I think. Be a lot smarter. And all this is so I can open this painting over there to get there. So you need all these items to get to it. Also to beat the room, you'll need all the items. Actually, I believe the last painting blockers are... Where are they at? I don't even remember. Oh, I know where the other one is. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. Here. I keep changing the rooms, and I haven't played through many times since I've made the changes, so things get moved around, and I'm like, where does this go? Yeah, I gotta get rid of these flowers. These flowers suck. They're just not fun to jump on. There's a secret passage here if you can't tell. I try to make it as obvious as possible so people have fun with it. I need to program the music puzzle for that. Maybe tonight. It's not part of the playtest, so I don't need it right now. Which makes me not that interested in doing it immediately. Blow things up. Or not. Oh, those can blow it up. I didn't realize those are set to blow up. Don't get hit by those. They do so much damage now. Get a key that I didn't even need, but screw it. I should close up all these other windows that are causing it to lag, because every other browser window for Unreal Engine causes more lag in the thing. So you really don't want them left open. But hear me out. I didn't close them, so there you go. Mostly because I don't have to remember what I was working on. It does cost you about 10 to 20 FPS though. So there should be about 45 with me running everything, and it's obviously not with those open. And the other one's here. And that'll let me go in the painting. Yay! If I can jump up here. I know it's possible. Use this to make myself back in light so I don't have problems. Get my sanity back. Yay! Now this painting is open. Yay! I wanted to test this anyway. Yo. Oh wait, I don't have a permission. Oh, I didn't have that enabled. Anyway, normally you can travel through the paintings, but you have to do an event earlier that gives you the permission to do that. And I didn't do that. I just would enable it if I really wanted it that bad. Yeah, you can actually just make that jump if you bounce right. Like a real champion. Oh, where's the Hierophant? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Well, I can fix that. I should have this at this room. One off. Okay, listen, I gotta kill these. These are annoying. Taking away the temperance is pretty awkward. I don't know how I feel about that. It's getting attacked like crazy here. Yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea what Metroidvania is. It's an RPG platformer. There you go. That's a good way to describe a Metroidvania. An RPG platformer. With weird mechanics. They aren't linear. Unlike regular platformers that usually are linear. And I can leave. Yay! Yay! And get to the next room. Yeah, all the abilities that you've gotten up to this point were useful in order to get through that room. Yep. That's how it works. Man, Twitch doesn't even count, like, you know, my bot lurking the stream. The bot that's, you know, the chat bot. He used to count the chat bot. It's funny. Anyway. Don't know if he actually stayed to watch all that. Looks like maybe he didn't, but whatever. Sure, it'll take a long time to rebuild my traffic for streaming. That's okay. Like I said, I don't think that streaming is a good method for getting people to know about your game. I think it's a fun method for chatting with people if you like chatting. But the reality of the matter is, it's not particularly valuable for... Like, all I have to do is post my thing on social media and it does better than that. Speaking of which, I should probably do that. You want to do it early? I'm doing it late. That's really dumb on my part. But if you've never done it, what you do, you get yourself a post about your game that you love like that. And this one's been seen 13,000 times, almost 14,000. Yeah, buddy, 871 unique views. That's nice. Most people actually bother to watch it, not just people who scroll by the post, but you know. So we take this beautiful thing here, then we go find the various things of the day, and we're gonna do Motivation Monday. But I probably don't want to scroll directly down Motivation Monday because sometimes people like to put their pornography on. But yeah, you click that and then you just go to latest and you scroll down and find everybody who does a post asking devs to do their thing, and you just post your stuff on there. But like I say, Motivation Monday, and like one space down is already a woman who looks like she's not wearing as much because, you know, some of the tags are shared. They're not just specifically game dev tags. And Motivation Monday is most definitely a shared one. And it's pretty famous for having a bunch of random images of OF girls. And unfortunately, you have to scroll down all of them and just look for, you know, posts like this one here, where they say post your indie game, and you do exactly that. You go, yeah. I just go, yeah, post this, cool. And then I just like it, and then I move on. Yeah, and you got to do that. And you'll get a lot of views this way. It's actually very effective. But you will scroll by a lot of questionable garbage on Motivation Monday, and I think like Follow Friday is also another terrible one, because Follow Friday is the worst one. Oh god, like you'll get a lot of views from outside of the game dev space in it, so it's very worth it. My god, the amount of OF garbage that will, like, because you're just going down the hashtag. It's not the algorithm for it. It's just literally everyone who posts under the hashtag for the day, and you're just scrolling to see if you can find anyone who's done any kind of, you know, post your game thing. And the earlier you do it, the better, because like it actually starts half a day beforehand. Because, you know, for a lot of people, it's already the next day. It's actually technically the next day for me too. And I'm like in the worst time zone, i.e. the Pacific time zone. So I'm like the farthest back in time. But I've seen posts as early as noon Pacific for the next day. Like, wow, that is wild. But it really adds up. You'd be surprised how much you can do. Of course, I haven't gained a lot of wish lists. I gained a lot of followers. I think I've actually lost more wish lists lately because I don't know. I guess I haven't updated the page as often as I could. I don't know. know there ain't that many for Motivation Monday. Week. Oh, there's actually a few ones for Monday because there's what, Mobile Monday. And there's like 3 of them. It's Mobile Monday as well. Yeah, Mobile Monday's another one. You gotta do all those too. Picture thing here, blah blah blah. I just like all of them so it's easy to keep track of. Show us your indie games once again. The Mobile Monday is actually much better, I think. And it's not just mobile games anyway. I'm also looking for the other one. There's one other one, I can't remember what it was. I think Mobile Monday is actually the better one because Motivation Monday didn't have many game dev posts. Mobile Monday seems to. 5 hours ago. You see like how long ago it was? Like 7 hours ago. I'll show people analytics afterwards once I've done all these so you can see why it's worth doing this. December 22nd. There's not that many. What's the last one? I have them written down. Not a bad track. Demo Monday. That's the other one. Actually, I don't think I wrote Mobile Monday on this one. So. Yeah, so there's a bunch of ones here. I don't know about Marketing Monday and Solo Dev Sunday, but these are most of the hashtags I found that tend to be the ones there. And I'm not even sure on the Motivational Monday ones there, but yeah, you got all those. Easy ones are like, you know, obviously Screenshot Saturday is very big. And Show Me Sunday does pretty well too. Wishlist Wednesday does very good as well. Yeah, you got to go through and find all these dumb things. Right? Marketing one of them. This is the part of the game dev they don't tell you about, but you need to do. And then I'm not even sure how safe this one is. Oh, there you go, Demo Monday. So let me go grab my post again because I copy pasted something else and not my post. Do I have another one up? No. I do now. And you just keep adding to all of them. And this doesn't go that far back. But yeah, and then we go look at the analytics side premium, right? And if you look at the analytics for how this goes, I mean, yesterday I got 1,158 views on here doing that, and then that there. These days aren't as good, and I didn't really do anything. I didn't put a new post. It's just me regurgitating the same post. You can see where I did new posts. Like this was when I first put my trailer up. You saw how many posts I got that day. And you can see the follower gain of like 4 followers. Sure, I lost 2 that day. I gained 4 the previous day, but you know, it adds up. You can see how many followers I've gained versus how many I've lost in that time there. And the improvements like that. So it's very worth going down here and doing this. You can see the numbers going up. So the thing they don't tell you about when making a game is you're going to have to do this kind of crap unless you have an audience. If you have an audience, hey, congratulations. Your game will sell no matter what, but you got to build an audience. And I don't have any followers on there. I have 1,366. I gained 1 today, actually. Already. I gained 4 yesterday, so, but I lost 2, so it happens. But it does add up. Yeah, that's up to 40. Like, and now every time people see this post, then they scroll by it, people go, "Oh my god, this game has already got 48 likes. This post must be really good." But the post is from November 21st. 48 likes is not even most I've ever had on a post. This one got 15. People love this thing. They also talked about a Miss Pac-Man level, so you know. Yeah, this is part of the experiment of what I've been doing over the course of not streaming. And honestly, it's more valuable than streaming for building an audience. So streaming is fun and I like doing it, so that's why I do it. not because it's particularly valuable. Because I can tell you right now, if that's in testing, it does not lead to much audience gain. It's fine, but it does lead to a bit of profit if you can get like monetized in all the places, and that is nice. Like it, over the course of game dev, I've probably made like, I don't know, $500-600 that I would have not had from the game. So the game's already, basically, I think it's slightly profitable. Not profitable enough for the hours into it, sure, but technically I've made more money than lost in making the game. Hey, Stars Dragon. Yeah, I took a couple months off because of health problems, and you know, health problems exacerbated by sitting in front of a computer. But I was feeling pretty good today, so I'm like, I'm gonna stream for a little bit. Yay! I have like issues with the upper vertebrae of my neck, basically like that. And you know, sitting causes weight on it, and every time it pops and weird things like that, it causes all manner of problems throughout the body. You had a sudden game dev idea. What's the idea? If you want to share it, you know. I like chatting. Tell me. Tell me. Chatting is fun. I missed that, chatting while doing game dev. Not that I've accomplished much today other than showing people all the stuff I added. I added lots of stuff. A visual novel which slowly dissolves into your girlfriend across multiple incarnations, killing you over and over again because you woke a new paddle this run. Have you played Slay the Princess? I probably won't get copyright claimed for Slay the Princess thingy, so I'll play it on here. Alright.
Already know.
So, let me mute this and then show you Slay the Princess, because this is your game's spirit animal, okay? Trust me on this.
You already know why you're here. You already know what you need to do. Yeah, if we don't slay the princess, the world ends. All of it. We know. Then why are you hesitating? What are you doing?
Each time, you know, things go weirder and weirder, and like, you know, she ends up, you know, killing you in terrible ways and everything like that. Or you might kill her, doing it leads to... It's kind of like the love story. It's weird.
You don't have to be afraid. We can both get out of here. Together.
No, you can't do this. You're going to damn everyone if you set her free. I refuse to let her get the last
But the
word.
narrator fights with you. That was not the good trailer. This is much better. Yeah, this is much better. Yeah, this is way better, I think, than the other. Or not. This is a different trailer entirely. Okay, well, anyway, the trailer that I liked is not there. But yeah. It's definitely got a Stanley Parable, except for, like, you know, you every time, depending upon what you do and how things how it goes, you end up dead, she ends up dead, and it keeps changing the way the story goes and leads to this bizarre otherworldly setup here. I think you'd enjoy it because it's very, I mean, it's a visual novel where you end up with, you know, dying a lot, and that she can become like your girlfriend. Also, it's on sale right now, right? Because it's Steam sale, so hear me out. I watched Markiplier, I played through it, so I don't know if I'd want to play it myself. That's a little... It's kind of the problem with a visual novel, you know? Yeah, I think that this would be definitely the right idea for what you're in, because this game did very well too. I mean, overwhelmingly positive with almost 27,000 reviews. I'm just saying, you know, it did well. It was enough to get Markiplier to play it, so millions of people watched it, did play it. Other people played it too, of course, because, you know, it's got the shock value of killing the princess, which is the opposite of things like that. I'd consider playing it, but again, I already know what happens, so it kind of... I mean, I don't know every possible option, sure, but... it's not quite the same. It loses that magic, you know? It makes it so good. But still, I think you could, I mean, my game has a spirit animal, I understand. Sometimes you gotta have a spirit animal for your game. Where in the world was my thing for this? Yeah, it's not what you think. The whole game is very much not what you think. It goes darker and weirder and weirder and weirder, and depending upon which way you go down the various paths also changes a lot of how the characters are and how they look, and just... it's pretty good. It's definitely, as far as visual novels go, one of the better ones I've seen. Not really a visual novel guy myself, but I almost played it. If I didn't see someone else already play it, I would have, but yeah. Meh. I haven't even added any stuff here. Yeah, you should definitely make one of those. Idea for the ending? Well, I mean, to get the girl, right? The ending? I would assume you don't want to give him the girl, right? Dating thing? Or one of the endings. I don't like this track. I'm just going to random one. I don't like this track either, but whatever. Well, what's the idea? I mean, you can, if you want to share it, you're not going to share it, of course. I'm just saying, but if you want to. Could be that, or we'll show you the most recent prior incarnation before slowly zooming out and out and out until you countless bodies. That's a good ending. She was right eventually. Okay. In the package version, these don't show up. I was gonna solve this problem, and this track sucks. Gross. Yeah, now they're there. Huh. I need to rework this room. I don't like it. Kind of hard. Does each section really be its own visual novel? Well, that's kind of thing. Like, I think that, you know, if you watch how Slay the Princess does it, in like he does it in like groups of like 3 to see what happens, like as a result of things, and then each thing is kind of its own separate little thing, but it's only like, you know, 3 different scenarios. It still would take a long time. I mean, like the amount of writing and art and animation that went to like all the scenes was definitely a lot of work. So I mean, it's not like a small job. These visual novels need to basically be like a storybook with pictures, basically like a novel with pictures. So these require a lot of art. I was working on this setup here, but I think as long as you keep it in small chunks on how you do it, it could be doable. Like, I wouldn't take each novel and run it really long, because then obviously your game's never going to get done. So you can't make a full game for each thing. That's like the initial idea I had, where you had like worlds inside of each of the paintings in this game, but then that meant every map turned into this huge thing. If I wanted that to work, I needed to make every single painting world very small. Like even like one scene, you just jump inside there. And that might actually be a fun idea. I'm not going to do it because it's beyond the scope of my game. But if I wanted to do that, I needed to limit it. And I think that's exactly what you would have to do in your scenario. You don't have time to really develop a very complicated world, so you have to leave it kind of to their imagination and only develop what's exactly necessary. And the reason why Slay the Princess works is because it's regurgitating the same scenario that they've already presented, but then corrupting it in various ways. 6 reincarnations in May 3, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I would definitely keep it somewhat focused and limited. It's very easy to run too far with that. You want exactly enough to tell your story. And preferably no extras, because, you know, you want your thing to get done, and unless you're gonna devote a disgusting amount of time to it, you probably don't want to do that to yourself, right? You want to keep it limited. At least that's my theory behind it. I'm just saying, you might want to do that. I was gonna grab this, wasn't I? Yeah, I shudder to think how much story went into, like, you know, Slay the Princess. It's definitely not my forte when it comes to doing game dev. Like, the story portion of it and everything is, I assume, where I'm gonna suffer the most. Yeah. Yeah. You want to use this to raise awareness of abusive relationships? Okay. I mean, you can make it happen. I don't think that them dying over and over really does that, though, to be honest. Like, if it's the same person dying over and over, it almost cheapens their death, right? Like, it would be way more meaningful if the person kept coming back, and every single day the like, you know, at each incarnation the character was more beat up based upon the choices that your character made, and then, you know, at the very end, maybe, like, you know, the character finally ends up dying or something. That would be way more meaningful than them just dying over and over and over, because once they die once, you only get that effect once from a death, and it loses all value. So you get the Marvel Cinematic Universe problem where they have multiverses. Once the character is established that it can just get a new one from another multiverse, then the death didn't matter. Like, they're disposable. Like, I was doing a scene for a game, for like a game jam, right? And I had a little girl character and everything like that, and, like, you know, it was really just about, you know, an abusive mother. And the next day she shows up like that, and she's like all bleeding like that after, like, you know, playing a game like that, and, like, you know, and her mother finding out about it like that, you know, and the enemy being like happening like that. And every time she would show up more beat up, and people would notice in the town as she'd wander by, to, you know, showcase that she's, you know, being abused. But I never would outright say it, by hiding the fact that the mother was always like these monsters and everything like that. And I saw that idea done exactly, done a different time, where it was like a little baby trying to, like, I should say a toddler trying to escape, and there was like this monster after it the whole game. And at the very end, like, you know, the character manages to open the front door, and, like, there's cops waiting, and then the mother gets arrested. So, but you don't know it's her. So, like, but it meant so much more, because each time, you know, all these horrible things happening to them, it was the same person. So that's, yeah, you need that constant, you know, just You have to become attached to the character. Oh. Well, I'm gonna take a bio break while the ad's going. So right back. Is the ad over? I don't know. Alright. So anyway, we were saying at the ending, your people who switch the girlfriend, the final wishes be why doesn't he come back? I mean, maybe like, I think your ending is more powerful if you're actually, I think your story is more powerful if you're telling it from the abused perspective than the abuser. Because then it's like your choices are what's like, you know, leading to all this abuse and everything like that. And then at the very end, the character, you know, can opt to, you know, maybe get the police involved and get out of the situation. And keep staying there and eventually even end up dead or something, depending upon. So like a choose your own adventure where you are the abused character is probably stronger than, you know, you abusing someone over and over. Like, I don't. And then you switch the perspective of the girlfriend. At that point, it's like you've shown the perspective from, like, you know, like I'm assuming boyfriend, could be two girlfriends, man. Lesbians are statistically more abusive than like heterosexual relationships. So, saying you could run it like that. It'd be funny, but yeah, I'd say most time it's usually from the perspective of the abuser. But I guess to be fair, Slay the Princess is from the perspective of the person doing the abuse. Kinda. Princess is kind of also in reverse. It'd be interesting to see on that one. But I definitely thought about telling a story of abuse. The other game I was making was literally a game about abuse. But that game just had problems. It had problems. It didn't play the way the story really wanted it to. The story just didn't match. It was weird. The story wasn't particularly. I had to change the story to match the game, but it was just stupid. This game's different. This game doesn't deal with abuse at all. Because you're already dead. Oh, wait. Huh. Huh. I don't need this. I was just thinking about it. I don't care about the link this. If it's always going to play the same thing no matter what, and I'm not changing the name because the name's already dictated over here, I can just do this. I've accomplished so little tonight, I don't really care. I was getting the chatting out of my system, really. I think that's more exciting to me than the regular game dev that I've been doing all the time. Oh, I gotta plug my mouse in 1 second.
Well, this is a nice little track. Couldn't really use it for my game though. I don't really think it would be all that. I like the track. I don't see it working for my game.
And I definitely have found that it's better to have some concept of your story and then match your gameplay to it instead of just, this gameplay sounds fun, I'm gonna do this. Well, I already have this story, I'll use that. Nah, that did not work. Did not work at all. The funny part was when I first started, the actual story worked much better with the gameplay I made. Each time I reincarnated the gameplay to be better, it made it worse and worse. It just kept making the game a catastrophe. That's not the right one. You. I mean, I guess this is technically would be like a story thing. I'll probably go like another 36 minutes. I don't want to make my streaming too long because, like I say, the streaming has been what causes my health to have problems, or at least makes it worse, I should say. So I was trying to keep it down to mere 4 hours, which is still a long stream for apparently a lot of people. But none of the story is finalized, but I just need some idea here, so. Right. It'll be under 20 days painting. Not here, actually. Oh, 20 minutes blocker? Yeah, 20 minutes painting. Yeah. I'm just thinking of better ways to make the player understand what's going on, because a lot of things really aren't explained, and some things should be explained.
You probably need a quest system. Do I want a quest system?
Like a generic what's going on? Metroidvanias aren't really known for having quest systems. A lot of times it just features exploration, you haphazardly finding your way into things. So I don't know the value of a quest system. Nah, strap won't work. I like to, you know, hear some of these things, but you know. We'll just put something there. It'll do. Like I say, it's not about having perfect anything at this point. I'll go back and change everything. But as long as I have anything that's good enough to get started, right? I just need a new picture of this. I just didn't want to find it manually. Oh. I should have a generic picture for us. I'm not going to put this in every time, but I guess to be fair, it wouldn't work too well for changing the dial up. Whatever. Almost all the stories can get told this way anyway. Only at certain points you're ever going to stop and have options. Even then I could probably almost take that out, but... No. I need to be able to hold the player in place during some of it. Not all of it, just some of it. The stuff that makes the most sense to do that with. Ugh. I'll bet I have so much information on him. This doesn't really fit anywhere in the game. I need something that's more doll-like. I'm definitely gonna have to think about it.
Killing this should cause the thing to do what I need.
She did not say anything. Possibly got overwritten by the other. It most certainly did not. Puzzle, 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 yay, puzzle. It just says up there. It does not. I know they did puzzles, all the puzzles. Enemies blocker 1 puzzle. Okay. That explains a lot. So I could change it up if I wanted to have them separate and easier to read. So if I change that, it'll have to probably just be changed on Poppet. I have to look how the paintings are set up if I want to split it up. Or I just put it under puzzle. I mean, it doesn't need to be puzzle. Be anything I want. So what if I just make a painting blocker? It's even easier because I don't have to change the code. It'll just be this. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, 4 hours. Gonna feel like my max for doing this like lately. Starting to feel a bit not as good. Also a little hungry. Oh, well, it's an awkward location, but that's fine, doesn't really matter. Basically, the best reinforcement I have for a lot of things is having Poppet taught. I need to split those two up into longer things because they're way too many characters.
You're going the right way.
And open. And then whoop. There it is. It's fine. So everywhere else just painting blockers. I need to do that. There's actually only 3 sets of painting blockers in this area though. There's messages about that, the blocker thing. Alright. Now I just have to change it on the Puppet Master. That's where it's changed things. No audio work. Why are you so fun? Definitely not my literal favorite thing. So the next painting that you need to unlock is going to be... Its fire room's already unlocked. It's just staff only? There's a new life room one, and then there's one in the toy maze, there's one in the safari room at the library. And staff only is the last one that I've currently made already. The other ones will get added later when I figure out where they're at. When all of the ones are in there, the other 2 are in the washroom. Well, what's interesting was how it happened to that other room. Why? Ooh. Almost 4 hours and then the people show up. People watching now. Trouble is unhealthy like that. These painting blocker things. My health does not like streaming very much, so probably streaming that much longer tonight. But I'll just stream sporadically throughout the day and everything. Figure out where I'm at on these things. The little charger for my mouse is yanking it off the table, so I keep turning to the side. And that's because you have ones listed on you, right? Let me load this room up. I need to limit them actually talking if she doesn't have it. Just check for it to be true. The reason why the puzzle activated is not in the normal collection thingy is because you can turn the puzzle on and off, which means like a button can both, you know, be pressed either like again to shut a puzzle down. But not everything can be shut down. Like you can't undestroy a painting blocker. But it works on the same system because there's no reason to have multiple systems to do these things. I can just make a read they can't be disabled, that's all. It's a better plan. Yeah, that should fix it. Yeah. I still gotta put a bunch of NPCs in here. I guess I could grab NPCs and start making them as things and just putting them in this room. Of course, they're not relevant because the only one that I might put in is Annie's on. If I want to put her in before the demo, but you get to this room very fast. Well, I guess that's a relative thing. You get to it after the toy maze. And that potentially means you can gain 3 levels that I didn't plan for. Well, 4 if you want to grind for that one, but that thing will be super expensive, so, you know, you could if you wanted, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's those 3. She also doesn't have to only have cards here, too. I also need to make a special system so that, there can be items in the world that once you find them, like a little note saying, you know, her laughing at that she got there first. And once you have that note, then she'll sell the item in here, or it'll go into her like mix of items that are for sale. Which should be a fun little mini game of finding the various items so that she'll sell them. Finding the various notes, basically. And then, you know, her shop will only have a limited number of things, and until you find those. I'll have to make a whole bunch of NPCs, though. I don't have that many yet. I've got... What do I even have? Well, I have Felix and Oliver already in the game. Gooseberry. I don't know if Jeff's gonna be a thing. It's just a fun little thing like that. Yeah, it's mostly just those 3 that I have. Like, Sertin doesn't go there. He has his own location. Fortuna doesn't have a thing, does she? Maybe she does. I do have one there, Crystal. I can put her here. Basically, I need to... Let's just say I rotate her here for funsies. She won't say spawned in. That's fine. I don't care. I realize it's like, I don't know how many, there's like a whole lot of these data layers. There's 85 data layers and not all of them are like, there's like 3 of them are that. So it's like 82 rooms essentially. And I only have like, you know, 48 or 49 on here. So it's going to take a lot of time to make everything where it's supposed to be. Doesn't really have a level. Position that there so I knew what the numbers were. She's at a 1.3, huh? Ooh. Grab this test, I'll probably call it. I don't want to stress myself undue amounts. Now she's just there. That one didn't spawn in, but this one's just here. The problem with spawning them indirectly is they don't spawn their event begin place. They don't, like, data layers don't destroy them. So that's a problem. Right, why is OBS flashing? I don't know. Did you crash on me or something, OBS? Doesn't seem like you did. Well, that's depressing. My NPC thingy doesn't work right. It should be spawning it in. No wonder I'm having issues with these. None of them are spawning in. Fair enough. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'll be back more often to just do my streaming thing. It's gonna be hit or miss for a while as I rebuild my I try to be healthier, but yeah, you know. Seeing as how all the extra streaming and the constant sitting in front of the computer is causing all the health problems, I probably should be doing, like, you know, the 8+ hour streams for a while. So yeah, I'll probably be back tomorrow night or something. Or maybe even later today, who knows. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and yeah, run the Discord or something. Or wish list my game, or something. Or not, anyway. Catch you later.